massive right hand. You get a little closer, you want to throw your hooks, fine. But it should be jab overhand, jab straight right hand. All
an absolute animal, and the spars were as such. You know, there were two guys going in there and getting at it, and
Anthony Joshua detonates a sparring partner with a brutal knockout, sending shockwaves through the gym and an unmistakable warning straight toward Deontay Wilder. Whispers from inside the camp paint Joshua as sharper, colder, and far more dangerous in sparring, even dropping a partner during an intense exchange that instantly turned heads. That chilling knockdown has only intensified the narrative around his raw power and calculated intent, with insiders insisting it wasn't just a moment, it was a message, deliberate and direct, aimed squarely at Wilder. Frank Warren pulls back the curtain on the relentless grind surrounding Anthony Joshua, revealing a fighter who looks unusually active, calculated, and quietly dangerous even when the cameras are off. Every session carries an edge, with high-level sparring and punishing gym work keeping him locked in a state of readiness. This isn't routine preparation anymore, it feels deeper, almost obsessive, as if every movement is sharpening something unseen. That rising intensity, growing with each round, is exactly what keeps fueling whispers of a looming collision with Deontay Wilder.
To the body, and look, he's an exciting fighter. He's constantly in the gym. He spars a lot. He goes to different gyms as well. He wants it.
Derek Chisora cuts straight through the noise surrounding training clips, shutting down the growing hype with a blunt reminder that what happens behind closed doors for Anthony Joshua or any fighter carries no real weight once the bell rings. He makes it clear, almost dismissively, that dropping or even knocking someone out in the gym means nothing when the stakes shift to a real fight, where pressure suffocates, danger multiplies, and chaos takes over against someone as volatile as Deontay Wilder. In his view, sparring is just controlled rehearsal, a place where consequences are limited, but the true test doesn't even begin until the lights burn brighter, the crowd roars louder, and every single punch suddenly carries consequences that can't be taken back.
You're there to learn, so the guy you knocked out in sparring, he's understanding, okay, I did this silly move, that's how I got knocked out, so I'm gonna have to stop doing this silly move so I don't get knocked out. So when people come out and say, oh, I've knocked out in sparring, I stopped doing sparring, but
Francis Warren is making it clear that the whispers leaking out of camp around Anthony Joshua carry real weight, describing a version of him that looks almost feral in sparring, tearing into partners and standing toe-to-toe through punishing, high-intensity rounds. The sessions sound brutal, the energy unpredictable, as if something darker is building beneath the surface with every exchange. Yet he quickly drags the excitement back down to reality, warning that no matter how savage it appears in training, it still counts for nothing once it shifts into a real fight, especially against someone like Deontay Wilder, where the pressure suffocates, the danger multiplies, and every second carries consequences that sparring can never truly replicate.
His ability to go in there and believe that he can go and mix it with these guys. Listen, sparring at the end of the day, and you know, but I know for a fact that both guys appreciated each other's work during that.
Eddie Hearn underscores just how intense and calculated the preparation inside camp has become for Anthony Joshua, revealing a setup where elite sparring partners aren't just rotating in and out but living, breathing, and grinding alongside him every single day. That constant presence has created a charged environment, where every round feels deliberate and every mistake gets exposed instantly, forcing rapid adjustments and sharper instincts. He explains that this shift has made a clear, almost unsettling difference in performance, as if Joshua is evolving in real time under relentless pressure. The focus isn't casual improvement, it's structured, disciplined, and unforgiving, built around refining every detail and pushing sharpness to its limit through high-level work in the gym.
Sparring. You know, it's the first time where we consistently had 7 or 8 guys in camp, living in camp, training with him day in, day out. And it made a big difference in the fight. So I think he knows that the way that he's going to improve is time in the gym and also the quality of sparring. And of course, Fury would be outstanding work.
Duke McKenzie slices straight through the illusion, warning that the so-called explosive sparring clips around Anthony Joshua are carefully controlled scenes, not raw reality, because every partner inside that ring is following quiet orders that the public never hears. He points out they are not unleashed to fight freely, not allowed to bring chaos, but are instead tools, shaping timing, feeding confidence, building a version of dominance that looks terrifying but isn't fully tested. That's where the trap lies, he insists, because fans watching from the outside mistake rehearsed moments for genuine danger, buying into a narrative that can collapse the second the bell rings for real. Mackenzie cautions that none of those polished exchanges carry their weight, the unpredictability, or the sheer threat waiting in an actual fight, especially when the opponent is someone like Deontay Wilder, where one mistake doesn't get corrected in the next round, it ends everything instantly, without warning or mercy.
Reason. When you bring in a sparring partner, they're under orders. And if they're under orders in this particular fight, then these sparring partners have been told under no uncertain terms to go easy. Go through the motions.
Duke Mackenzie cuts through their hype, warning that sparring clips around Anthony Joshua can deceive, because sparring partners operate under strict instructions. They are not there to resist fully, only to shape rhythm, feed confidence, and keep the camp controlled. Mackenzie insists fans are misreading gym dominance, because none of it shows the real danger waiting in a live fight against someone like Deontay Wilder, where every mistake ends the story instantly without warning, without mercy, no second chance ever.
World champ is up there, and he's either going to become a world champion again or have a big fight with someone like Fury and make some money, or just retire.
Eddie Hearn tightens the narrative, making it clear that the entire plan around Anthony Joshua is being carefully engineered with precision, focusing on timing, readiness and staged event scheduling instead of rushing into a brutal collision with Deontay Wilder. The real emphasis stays on building momentum first, with bigger fights quietly lined up later in the year depending on how negotiations unfold, while Joshua's willingness to confront both elite names signals he remains open to high-risk, high-reward scenarios if the conditions are right, keeping the heavyweight division on edge. Tension builds.
He's ready and he's motivated, but we've got to do it right. The deal that we've been offered, which is to fight in July and then fight Tyson Fury in November, is not with Deontay Wilder in mind. I think the powers that be don't really want us to be in that type of fight.
Right.
We're up for that type of fight.
I was going to say...
AJ's also said to me, I will fight Wilder.
Duke Mackenzie cuts in with a sharp assessment of Anthony Joshua, insisting his timing, sharpness, and renewed confidence are quietly snapping back after shedding ring rust. He believes Joshua's right hand has returned as a dangerous weapon again, and that rebuilding confidence could become a nightmare for anyone forced to stand in front of him. In that shadowed context, a fight with Deontay Wilder feels even more volatile, because a confident Anthony Joshua is now viewed as someone capable of detonating a finish in a single instant.
AJ had a glint in his eye, as if to say, if that's the best you got, it ain't a problem. And I'd be inclined to agree with him. I really would. Because, you know, AJ's had a couple of fights now where he's been able to shake off a bit of the ring rust. Now, should he fight Fury in his next fight? Should Fury decide that he really wants to fight AJ in his next fight? Well, I'd have to back AJ in that one, because AJ's a little bit sharper. And as I said before, when you've been out for a little while, you need a couple of guys just to roll over to get your confidence back. And if AJ's confidence back, as it clearly looks like it is, then nobody's getting out of the way of that right hand when he lets it go. You know, Fury.
Alexander Usyk delivers a chilling endorsement of Anthony Joshua, describing him as a future undisputed champion and exposing, through rare training insight, just how elite Joshua really is. This kind of praise from a top-tier champion adds heavy weight to Joshua's reputation, tightening the belief that he still belongs at the very peak of heavyweight boxing. But in the background, against a dangerous puncher like Deontay Wilder, this perception turns into something far more volatile, building tension and anticipation because it frames Joshua as a fighter still capable of ending everything in an instant.
Me, my bratan. You know bratan?
Bro, your brother.
Oh, bro. G.
What do you see in Anthony Joshua when you train with him?
You can.
Yeah?
Yeah. Every time.
Okay.
AJ, it's a future.
Max Kellerman cuts in, pointing out that Anthony Joshua is carefully controlling the timing of his biggest decisions, suggesting he is not rushing into major fights but instead positioning himself strategically. This approach adds another layer to discussions around a potential clash with Deontay Wilder, because it shows Joshua is thinking beyond hype and focusing on negotiation power, readiness, long-term career planning and calculated patience rather than immediate risk, as if every move is part of a hidden chess game tightening before the storm.
Joshua said he would take the fight, but on his own time. After the fight, AJ said he's still dealing with a lot of things, but he'll be ready, guys. And the quote was, as I said, on his own time. It looked to me like AJ was staking out a negotiating position. How did it look to you?
Yeah, I think it was a power move from Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn to say, hey, we're the ones in control. Obviously, they are not, right? Tyson Fury is the cash cow.
Yes, he is. I'm the landlord is what he
right,
said.
Come on.
Yes,
He's the 10th. Let's be real. But I liked it. It was a great line. And Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, this is similar to Mayweather Pacquiao. It's going to happen past when we wanted to see it, but it's going to be bigger than...
Anthony Joshua makes it clear he wants all the major belts on the line, emphasizing that the real goal is legitimacy and undisputed status rather than talk or negotiation games. His focus turns into something colder, proving himself against the very best, pulling attention toward a looming clash with Deontay Wilder. The message cuts sharp and direct. Joshua is not interested in hype fights. He wants the biggest challenge available and the clearest path to proving dominance in a heavyweight division where every decision feels like a setup before impact.
You know, everyone wants to know the answer to this
Wilder, I
question.
want Wilder. He's got the belt. I've got the 4 belts. WBO, WBA, IBF, IBO. What I need is a WBC. If he's ready and wants to prove he's the best in the world, he can come see me.
2009.
Deontay Wilder twists the narrative further, pouring fuel on the fire by claiming Anthony Joshua is actively avoiding the fight, intensifying psychological pressure in an already volatile rivalry. This statement doesn't just create drama, it quietly fractures confidence and distorts perception, pushing the public to question who is truly hesitant behind the scenes. Whether accurate or not, it deepens tension, stacking another mental burden onto a potential showdown, turning it into a psychological battlefield long before they ever step into the ring.
It's still a great event, this, because Verhoeven's a big character. He's a big character, he's a big lump, and he can really punch. And, you know, I said to you, I don't want to be too disrespectful to him because he's floating around some.
Tyson Fury delivers a contrasting warning, praising Deontay Wilder for repeatedly walking into dangerous fights and proving himself against elite opposition. At the same time, he turns the spotlight onto Anthony Joshua, questioning whether his career has shown the same level of global risk-taking and consistency on the world stage. This comparison sharpens Wilder as the more battle-tested threat in chaos-filled fights while putting Joshua's legacy under question internationally.
AJ, do you want to get in a ring to announce a fight? No. Like, I don't want to get in to tell the public that we're fighting Tyson Fury when at the moment we're not. Now, we believe we will and we hope we will, but we've been here before, haven't we? Many, many times, and I think...
Deontay Wilder escalates the tension, revealing that emotion dictates everything when he enters combat, especially when respect breaks down and personal heat takes over. He describes how confrontation and disrespect don't just irritate him, they drag him into a darker mindset where intent shifts from winning to destruction. In this rivalry with Anthony Joshua, it stops being sport. It turns into personal warfare, a psychological breakdown where Wilder believes every punch is loaded with fight-ending consequences once the switch flips inside him. That is when danger becomes absolute and unavoidable.
For me, I'm the man with the big right hand, baby. I possess all the power. I'm the most dangerous heavyweight in the business, period, to this day. Okay. You know, so I ain't worrying about nothing.
Carl Froch breaks down the fight in the most brutal way possible, focusing on the danger that Deontay Wilder brings with his knockout power. He openly questions whether Anthony Joshua can truly handle that level of explosive threat if caught clean. The key concern is confidence under fire, because against someone like Deontay Wilder, one mistake can end everything instantly. Carl Frocher's analysis highlights that this isn't just a technical matchup. It's a survival test where the first clean right hand could completely change the outcome of the fight.
I don't know if AJ believes he can beat Deontay. Well, maybe he does, maybe he wants to come back, maybe he wants to fight again, but what happens in that fight? Anthony Joshua in one corner, Deontay Wilder in the other corner, they come together in the centre of the ring. What happens? I honestly can't say what happens. I think if Deontay Wilder throws a couple of meaningful right hands and connects on AJ's chin, then the fight's over. AJ will be knocked out.
Johnny Nelson challenges the growing narrative around Deontay Wilder, suggesting claims of his declining power are exaggerated or misunderstood. While some believe his biggest weapon is fading, Johnny Nelson refuses to accept it fully, insisting Deontay Wilder still carries real danger in his hands. This directly impacts how people view a potential clash with Anthony Joshua, because even a slightly diminished version of Deontay Wilder can still change a fight in seconds. The debate remains open, and uncertainty keeps the rivalry alive in motion still.
Snapper's gone. Wilder's TNT is gone. Wilder's that punch is gone. He couldn't even let it go. He's just gone. So I don't believe that. I think Carl might be setting the cat amongst the pigeon, but I don't believe it.
Duke McKenzie locks onto the raw danger in a potential showdown between Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua, framing Wilder as one of the most devastating punchers in the heavyweight division. He insists that despite debate over form or age, Wilder's knockout power is still the ultimate equalizer. That single trait is exactly why this fight is seen as extreme risk, because Joshua could be facing a man capable of ending everything with one clean shot regardless of how the fight unfolds, instantly shifting momentum and fate. 2 but 12th round Tyson win.
2 but 12th round Tyson win. Okay, congrats.
Him and Anthony Joshua. We want to see it at last. How does the fight go?
Now, he not signed the...
Eddie Hearn confirms the discussions are still ongoing, with Anthony Joshua being carefully guided back into boxing, while major fights like Deontay Wilder and even Tyson Fury remain firmly on the table in the shadows. The strategy stays clear. Rebuild momentum first, then step into the biggest possible fights when fully ready. However, the willingness remains there, and Anthony Joshua stays open to facing elite opposition once conditions finally align in place.